disassembled the TX200. The only tools you need to disassemble one of these guns is a 3mm Allen key, a 5mm Allen key and a 10mm spanner to remove the bolt that holds in the trigger block. The Allen keys obviously are for the stock screws. First things first, I've got to make sure that everything's nice and degreased. So, get a bit of tissue paper, brake cleaner. Okay, so I've sprayed the brake cleaner all over and inside me piston. I've got the rag all the way up inside there, cleaned it all out, so we're ready to go. Right, now what I intend to do this time is I've got this, which is a Tinbum tuning kit, and I've got this, which is a number 10 Titan spring. Now the only non-standard part of my gun is this. This is a latch rod that is 10mm longer to make it slightly short stroked. So I'm hoping that I won't have to mangle this spring and chop it up much, if at all with luck. But we'll chrono it and try. So, fitting the spring guides, the Tinbum kit. First and foremost, inside you've got his instruction sheet, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. It tells you step by step what you need to do. This rear guide fits onto the trigger block, and you've got to check it first to make sure that it goes all the way back to the trigger block. The next thing we need to look at is the fit of the spring onto the spring guide, and as you'd expect, that's pretty lovely. It's nice and there's no play, there's no wobble or anything like that. Then we've got the top hat. Now if I compare that to the standard one, we've got the new Delrin top hat, we've got the well, very weighty standard TX top hat, and that Tinbum top hat fits in there quite nicely like that. Okay, so that's the basis of the kit. The other things that are in here, we've got a little bit of his grease that he calls bum slide, and we've got some power washers and a slip washer. Now you can spot the difference because of the size of the hole. So, Tinbum's kit for the TX200. You've got your rear guide that fits into the trigger block, courtesy of this little bit that sticks out, and that fits in a nice tight fit. You need to make sure that this rear part of the guide is flush up to the trigger block, that there's no gap, because if there is, the power of the spring will snap the back end of the guide, so you need to make sure that that fits all the way back there, and if you need to just trim it, you can just put on a bit of emery cloth, flatten it out so it's really nice and flat up against the guide. The things that come with the kit, there's a couple of power washers that will fit on there, and then the spring fits on there nice and tight. I've actually already assembled this to check the power and what have you. There's the top hat that fits onto there. Okay, now then, and then a slip washer. What the slip washer does is, when the spring compresses, it sort of winds in a circular direction. So the slip washer allows that extra little bit of rotation between the top hat and the slip washer. And when I assemble all this lot, I'm going to put grease in between everything. So that's the next part, assembly of the various different parts. Okay, so I've already slid the top hat up into there. Just going to assemble this part now, and I'll use Tinbum's molly grease, his bum slide as he calls it, and put a nice coating of that on the actual guide itself, a little bit on the spring, and we are ready to go. Okay, so like I say, I've already put this together and shot it dry. It's producing a very sweet 11 foot-pounds, which I'm happy with. So we'll go with this. We'll put this back together, give it another couple of shots, and give it another try. Okay, just fiddle this back in. Put the trigger block back on the end of the spring guide, like so. Now, the beauty of these things, a little bit of pressure, trigger block bolt in, and it's job done. Reassembled, Tinbum kit included. Lovely. So there we have it. Rifle back together, Tinbum kit installed. Now shooting at 11 foot-pounds, which I'm happy with. As smooth as silk. Really nice. Job done.